Hi everyone, welcome to our English 6 video lesson with Teacher Ross. Today, we are having a lesson for quarter 4, week 1. But before we begin this week's lesson, let us have a recall on the lesson that you have taken up when you were in grade 5. Are you ready? Let's go. So before I proceed, once again, hi everyone, I'm Teacher Ross. Let's work together, do our best to learn as much as we can, and respect and support each other through all the challenges that we are encountering now. If you are ready now, let's do this. This is a passage that we're going to read. All right, let's start. Philip is an incoming grade 6 pupil. He is very excited because finally it is his last year as an elementary pupil. He prepares all things that he will need for the next school year. He brought ball pens, notebooks, and papers. He decided that he will iron his clothes the day before the opening of classes. He excitedly puts his things inside his bag and kept it in his cabinet. Right? Let's continue. A day before opening of classes, what happened next? A day before opening of classes, he covered his notebooks with plastic and pasted his name on his palms. After a week, the school year started. Philip woke up early and prepared his things. He did not forget to wear his face mask. He knows that he needs to wear it every time he goes to school. Philip is very excited, but at the same time, he is a bit afraid because COVID-19 is still here or is still there. Even though he felt that way, he still knew that he will learn a lot in school. Now, my dear learners, do you now remember what the highlighted words are? Yes. Let us read them one by one. What are the highlighted words? Do you still remember them? All right. The highlighted words are prepares, brought, will iron, puts, covered, pasted, woke up, prepared, forget, and will learn. So those are the highlighted words. What are those highlighted words? Let's continue. What do you call those highlighted words? Yes, they are called verbs. You are right. Did you notice that the highlighted words or the highlighted verbs happen in different times? In different times, yes. These differences in verb tenses will be the focus of our lesson today. Now, after going through this lesson, you are expected to compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures, which are the tenses of verbs. All right. So isn't it exciting that we're going to tackle one by one the tenses of verbs? I know you already knew this. Now let us continue learning or remembering the tenses of verbs. The highlighted words that happened already are brought, We still have pasted, covered, woke up, and prepared. Those are the words that happened in the past. They already happened in the past. And the highlighted words, which are still happening at the moment, at present, we call it present tense, like prepares, forget, and puts. Meanwhile, the highlighted words that will happen next or that will happen in the future are will iron, will learn, shall iron, or shall learn. So we can use will and shall plus the verbs that are being stated here. Okay? So don't forget or always remember the use of will and shall. Verb has multiple forms called tenses like this. So these tenses are used to show when an action is done. Now let us continue. On this example, we can see how tenses of verb are differentiated. Okay? So one by one, in composing sentences using the tense of the verb, we need to remember the following. For the past tense that already happened, all we have to do is to just add the or ed. Example, best example for this is decided, stated, or we can even change the spelling for the where, it will become war. Okay, always remember that. And then for the happening for the present tense, we have the linking verbs is or are, or we can use s or es. Example, where plus s sounds wears. Share plus s sounds shares. For the future tense, it involves the verbs that will happen in the future. So we need to use will or shall plus the verb. Example, will wear or shall wear. So we can use will or share, or will or shall share. Okay? So we can use will and share. All right. So let's continue. These are the three tenses of the verb. Now, we will be having more examples on this. To further clarify what past tense is, these are the actions, the events or feelings happened at an earlier point in time or already happened in the past. It is no longer existing at present, okay? Just add D or ED, but if the verb ends with E, simply add D. Okay? But for some verbs, they change their spelling when they are changed in past tense and they are called irregular verb. Now, what are irregular verbs? Later, we're going to discuss this. All right, this one. Past tense. For past tense, we have the regular verbs and the irregular verbs. For regular verbs, all we have to do is to add D or ED. Example, shade, it will become shaded. We add D. Water, it will become watered because we added ed. So these are the regular verbs. How about for the irregular verbs? For the irregular verbs, we change its spelling. For example, where, it will become war. Okay? Another example, strike, we are going to change its spelling into struck. So these are the sample of irregular verbs which change their spelling. All right, so I hope it's very clear. Now let's proceed with the present tense. What are the present tense? Present tense are actions, events, or feelings that are currently happening or repeatedly happens. Example, if we have the subject singular and plural. If the subject is singular or only one, we are going to use the be verb is. Example, Ma'am Ross is a teacher because Ma'am Ross is singular. Another example, Ma'am Ross teach or teaches. All right, so we're going to add es. Ma'am Ross teaches English subject. So that is an example for singular subject. Now let's proceed with the plural subject. So we need to use are, and for the main verb, we don't need to use s and es. Okay? Example, Ma'am Ross and Ma'am May are in school. Ma'am Ross and Ma'am May is a subject or subjects under plural. Another, Ma'am Ross and Ma'am May go to school. We do not use s or es for the verb. All right? I hope it's clear. Now, we have here another example. For present tense, we have Philip wears his face shield when he goes out. So we use the verb wears. But if we have a plural subject, we call it the grade 6 pupils always wear their face mask in going to school. So because the grade 6 pupils is plural subject, so we don't need to use s for wear. Another example, Philip is an obedient citizen. He follows health protocols. So on the second sentence or second example, the grade 6 pupils are industrious. They regularly sanitize their room. All right. So the verb are or the be verb are is a plural subject. And now, we will proceed to our future tense. All right, what are future tense? These are actions, events, or feeling that will happen in the future. Example, if we have the singular subject or the plural subject, like Romeo, so we will use the same verbs both for singular and plural. Example is Romeo will wear, or the grade 6 pupils will wear. Both singular plural will use the same will plus main verb. Okay? So that is under the future tense. All right. So these are the examples. More examples, okay? So the grade 6 pupil will wear their face mask tomorrow in going to school. For the plural, the grade 6 pupils will wear their face mask tomorrow in going to school. The singular and plural use the same form of the verb will plus wear. Okay? So it's very easy. Now, we will be proceeding with the engagement time. So good luck, everyone. Good luck, everyone. So this is an activity time for all of us. Are you ready? Now get your activity sheets or your answer sheets, and at the same time, your ball pen. All right, let's do this. Learning task 1. Use the appropriate past form of the verb that make the sentence clear and coherent. Do this in your answer sheet. 1. Isabella's mother noticed a great change in her attitude and work. Isabella's mother noticed a great change in her attitude and work. Number 2, she knew Isabella was a great student, but due to current academic situation, she lags behind her classmates. She knew Isabella was a great student, but due to current academic situation, she lags behind her classmates. Number 3, her mother talked to her to know her problem. Her mother talked to her to know her problem. Number 4, Isabella realized her mistake. She made up her mind to study harder. Isabella realized her mistake. She made up her mind to study harder. Number 5, she began to get high scores in the test, and she received 3 academic awards last quarter. I repeat, she began to get high scores in the tests, and she received 3 academic awards last quarter. So these are the sentences for learning task 1. Are you ready for learning task 2? For learning task 2, using the correct past form of the verb, compose your own sentence. Write your answer in your answer sheet. You may ask for the assistance of your guardians, of your parents, in constructing or composing your own sentences. Just use the verbs notice, know, talk, realize, and begin. Give its past form and use them in sentences. You can do it. Okay, let's continue. Later, you can recap this video. You can review this video so that you can have ample time to answer this, okay? Now, let's proceed with learning task 3. Before that, I'll be giving you a few seconds to have your break time. Pause for a while and then relax. Inhale, exhale, and take a sip of water so you can feel better and comfortable. Now, if you already do that, let's proceed with learning task 3. In this task, you are required or you will be requested to make sentences clear and coherent by choosing the correct present tense, okay? So choose the correct present tense. Write your answer in your answer sheet. So the paragraph goes like this. Akila washes her hands regularly. She puts some alcohol in her hands whenever she can't wash them immediately. She drinks 8 glasses of water every day. She also takes vitamins to keep herself healthy. Akila wears her face mask every time she goes out of the house. All right. Write your own answer. Remember, to make the sentences clear and coherent, just choose and write the correct present tense in this learning task. All right. Let's move on. We have the learning task 4. All you have to do is to ask yourself, what are your plans? What are your goals or dreams? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? All right. Talk about your plans by means of writing a journal. So It means that you're going to make a simple paragraph telling your plans in the future. Do not forget to use verbs in future tense. Underline the verbs in future tense that you use in your paragraph. Do this in your activity sheet. All right. I'll be giving you this sheet. My personal future. Example, after 20 years or after 10 years, I will be a successful doctor. Period. And then continue your paragraph by writing, I will blank. So on and so forth. Okay? Good luck, my dear writers. All right. Congrats. Now we will be proceeding to our next learning task. Learning task 6. Write the proper tense of the verb to complete the sentences. So you are going to write the proper tense. Think very carefully. You can write past tense, present tense, or future tense. Let's go. Our school open blank at 6:30 a.m. every day. Yesterday, during the flag ceremony, the principal talked blank. She reminded blank as the importance of wearing face masks, and she teach blank as how to wash your hands properly. Tomorrow, we will brought blank our drinking bottle because we will have a water bed. We will drink blank water every hour to keep us hydrated and to prevent COVID-19. We also wear blank our face mask every time we go to school. School be blank, really exciting. So my clue here, my dear learners, are the time expressions that are being used. Look at the time expressions every day, tomorrow, okay? So look at those time expressions. They are my clues. Good luck once again. All right. So after learning task 6, we have a learning task 7. This is assimilation. Try to recall the important concepts you learned today. Tense of the verb tells blank an action is done. It's very easy. There are 3 tenses of the verb. The blank tense, and the blank tense. Past tense are actions that happen in the blank, or blank are added to the verb to change it in past tense. Present tense are actions that are blank happens. We add blank or blank to change the verb into present tense. Future tense are actions that blank. Adding blank or blank to the verb will change it in future tense. To answer it correctly, you will be guided by our learner's packet. The copies are already given to you. Just refer to your learner's packet or leaf page 1 and 2 or pages 1 and 2, okay? So let's proceed with our assessment. Using the following verbs inside the verb box, write the sentence in the past tense, present tense, and future tense. So our words are, the verbs are watch for number 1, laugh for number 2, listen for number 3, acquaint for number 4, and reflect for number 5. Okay? Now, after writing this, all you have to do is to write its past tense, its present tense, or the future tense. In short, write the past, present, and future form of these verbs. Okay? So that is for assessment. All right. I know you have your answers now. If you do not still have answer, I'm giving you enough time to answer. All right? So, after a few minutes, I'll be giving key or the answer keys. All right. All right. Let's check. Are you ready? If you're ready, now prepare your checking pen. These are the answers for learning task 1. Noticed, knew, talked, realized, began. For learning task 2, noticed. My teacher noticed my answer. Knew. I knew the answer. Talked. My teacher talked to me. Realized. I realized that God is so good to us. Began. The limited face-to-face classes began. Take note that you can have your different answers in forming in sentences. Your answers may vary in this task, okay? The answers for learning task 3 are washes, foods, drinks, takes, wears. For learning task 4, my personal future. After 20 years or after 10 years, I will be a successful doctor. I will blank. Your answer may vary and your teacher will check it one by one. For learning task number 6, the answers are opens, talked, reminded, thought, bring, drink, will, wear, and is. For the assimilation, the answers are when, past, present, future, the past, the or ed, currently happening or repeatedly, s or es, will happen, will or shall. All right. These are the answers for assimilation. For assessment, these are our answers. Past tense, watch, laughed, listened, acquainted, reflected. Present tense, watch, watches, love, loves, listen, listens, acquaint, acquaints, reflect, reflects. For future tense, will watch, shall watch, will laugh or shall watch, will listen or shall listen, will acquaint or shall acquaint, will reflect or shall reflect. How many got the correct answers? Good job! Very nice. So our lesson has been adopted from our Learner's Packet or LEAP from the Region 4A Calabarzon. Acknowledge is being given to the writer of this Learner's Packet. And with that, I hope you learn a lot for this week's lesson. This video is really made for you, my dear learners, in English. And I hope next time you'll be having a good time in answering your learner's packet. Don't forget to subscribe so that you will be updated with the lessons or with the video lessons that your teacher will be uploading. All right? So thank you once again and have a good day. Congratulations for accomplishing the learning task in week 1, quarter 4.